his size, he's going to get to anybody, any of these welterweights. That's for real. Nobody is going to beat this kid.
He's the Motor City Cobra. He's the hitman, Tommy Hearns.
The arrival of Thomas Hearns provided the fuel for an economically depressed Motor City, hungry for a new champion.
Not since Joe Louis came roaring out of Detroit back in 1934 has this town been so excited about a fighter as they are about Tommy Hearns.
This was the rebirth of boxing in the city of Detroit. Thomas was our secret weapon.
The hometown crowd here in Detroit on their feet with another standing ovation. Hearns has received so many of those here.
They were loud and they were bold and you know, they weren't above heckling, but Tommy wasn't like that. He was the nicest, most polite, you know, quietest kid in the world.
His biggest concern always, of any fight, did the fans enjoy? He was always concerned about the fans first, and that he gave his best performance.
That's a wonderful feeling to know that you are very much appreciated. I was on my way up the ladder, and climbing up the ladder was a great time for me.
In 1980, all of Detroit gravitated to Joe Louis Arena as Hearns carried his 28-0 record into a world title match against Mexico's dreaded Pepino Cuevas.
Cuevas is taking the punishment now.
Hearns connected with the right hand in the second round. Cuevas just became a noodle.
There's a trying all over. Pepino Cuevas is down.
Pepino's trainer immediately, no hesitation, threw the white towel in the ring. Immediately. That's how devastating that right hand was.
That's all. The fight is over. It ends in the second round. And Thomas Hearns becomes the new WBA welterweight champion.
I said, holy crap, this guy can fight. This guy's bad.
You are dodging that man.
Well, the fact is just what they say. They've made statements that I'm trying to get away from Thomas Hearns, that I'm afraid of him. The only thing that I fear is the fact that they won't pay me the money that I deserve, the money that I want.
Aren't you afraid he's going to beat you?
I'm not afraid of any man.
By 1980, the boxing world had two welterweight title holders, Thomas the Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard, who had recently regained his belt in a contentious rematch with Roberto Duran, where Leonard's taunting style frustrated the legendary champion into quitting.
I think that Ray Leonard proved in the fights with Duran that he was more than a pretty face. It was no longer was Sugar Ray Leonard a really good fighter. It was he the best fighter out there?
Are you going to fight Thomas Hearns?
I'll fight Thomas Hearns when he reaches the statue and the popularity of Roberto Duran.
Thomas Hearns was legitimately feared, we believe, by the Leonard camp. Their response was to try to minimize him.
If Hearns does not have the popularity of Duran, who else is there for you to fight?
Tommy, is that your friend there?
Okay, do we have another question?
We perceived that as them ducking Thomas Hearns.
But the rivalry continued to simmer as Dundee deferred the fight for nearly a year.
I said, what for? Not now. Let it get juicy, because I can smell it when it's going to be a big, big promotion. I turned Hearns down.
But Thomas Hearns remained Leonard's last barrier to greatness.
Tommy was the best, and I had to prove that I was the best by beating a guy like Tommy Hearns. That fight was the most important fight of my professional boxing career.
The showdown was finally set for September 16, 1981, in Las Vegas, proving the genius of Dundee's delay by promising to be boxing's highest-grossing fight of all time, with Leonard's take of nearly $12 million, banking him the largest salary in sports history.
I'm looking forward to it. And, buddy, you better be ready. You better be ready. All day long. Against your head. All day long. All day long. All day long. It'll be one shot.
Everybody in America wanted to be in Las Vegas that night. Only 25,000 people could see the fight, but 100,000 people came to town. It was that big of a deal for the boxing world and the city of Las Vegas.
With Leonard perceived as the classic boxer and Hearns known as the devastating puncher, experts were at odds over the fight favorite. But to the thousands of loyal Detroit fans flooding into Vegas, Hearns was a sure thing.
This was the safest bet in town, betting on Thomas Hearns. People were mortgaging their homes. They were selling their businesses. This was their retirement fund. And everything rested on Thomas Hearns.
This is the feature attraction of the evening. 15 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
I do remember walking towards the ring, and all I thought about was Muhammad Ali, how he would react at that moment. And all I said to myself was, be the man.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
It was the first big super fight for both of us. It was like life or death. There was no in between.
It was kind of scary. It was like being somewhere I'd never been before.
Introducing Thomas, the Motor City Cobra, Hearns.
And I remember in the introductions, he had this little smile on his face. And I just thought to myself, he thinks he arrived.
All the words are now over. We are down to round one, and here we go.
In the first round of that fight, everybody was fixed on those two combatants, and they were fixed on each other, and there was a heightened state of being among all of us.
First round, welterweight championship of the world. It is probably the most talked about fight in history.
Leonard was baiting him. He was staying outside. Hearns was stalking, just measuring him, trying to hit him with that right. And you could tell somebody's going to get hurt.
Round one comes to an end.
After the end of the first round, I touched him on top of the head and said, I got you, son.
And I didn't like that.
And Hearns sticks Ray Leonard, and Leonard feigns going down after the round is over.
And you can't slap me around.
Tommy, he's from the east side of Detroit, you know. You touch me wrong, man, I'm going to break your head.
He set the stage right there that he's not playing. This is no game anymore. We're fighting.
Round two. First round very close.
In the second round, Tommy stung him.
There's a good right hand. Good right hand.
Bam! Oh my God. Long night.
Tommy was like a cobra. He was bringing the fight to Ray.
Combination that time by Hearns. Once more scores on Ray.
The primary goal was to knock Ray Leonard out.
Hearns stalking his man now.
Ray sweating, I'm sweating too. I'm saying, Ray, move, Ray.
Right hand by Hearns stands Leonard straight up, and he backs off.
We're going to second round, third round, fourth round, you know. I'm like, oh, what is he doing? What is he doing? Because Tommy is winning.
Hearns' jab is bothering Leonard. There's no question about it.
His jab was so accurate and so fast that my left eye started to swell.
Tommy was tattooing. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, no ifs, and buts. Tommy is winning the fight.
It's starting to build. That fire is getting bigger and bigger. So far, it's living up to its billing.
Come on, watch. Don't look out, fight this guy.
1/3 of this fight is over. We're going into the second third.
Even though Thomas was slightly ahead, I was never relaxed. Ray Leonard was much stronger than most people realize. I knew the explosion was still going to happen sooner or later.
Ray gets inside, left hand, Hearns, backs him up. Hearns with another runner with another left hand, and a right hand to the head. And Hearns' legs are wobbling.
And from there, the fight changed. The fight totally reversed.